I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation. Welcome back to Aviation News. There's a lot to cover today, so let's get right to it. First off, Qatar Cargo has announced their fleet of 747-8 freighters will be completely retired by the end of this year. Considering that Qatar Cargo only flew two 747-8 freighters to begin with, this news is not very shocking, nor was it unexpected. However, I will miss seeing the Qatar Cargo 747-8, especially the few people that have been lucky enough to fly on it. It must have been a very cool experience. I'm sad I'll never get to see it in person. However, the former Qatar 747 freighters have been sold and will be shipped off to UPS, who currently flies 28 of the type. This will increase to 30 once the two Qatar 747s have entered their fleet. So at least the airplanes won't be fully retired. However, they won't wear Qatar colors anymore. However, the main reason for retiring it remains they were such a small fleet for Qatar, and they're going to focus moving forward on their 777 and upcoming 777-8 freighter aircraft. Next up, we have KLM and their Airbus A321neo, which will feature an all-new livery. Unlike the older livery, this new livery has more of a gradual stripe seen here, as opposed to the straight line on their existing Airbus A321 fleet. This is similar to what happened with their old livery seen here with the straight line, and then the newer livery introduced in 2016, which added more of a curvature. Next up, we have news surrounding Starlux, who have gone on to order the Airbus A350 freighter. Starlux hopes by ordering the A350 freighter, they can add a second division called Starlux Cargo to their operations. Starlux, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is an all-new Taiwanese full-service airline based out of Taiwan, founded in 2020. Starlux hopes by keeping commonality with their existing fleet of A350s, they can train crews easier and faster than, say, ordering a rival like the 777 freighters. Although, as much as I prefer the 777 to the A350, which I know is a controversial debate, Starlux's livery is beautiful. My friend and fellow YouTuber, Wingin' It Paul Lucas, recently flew with Starlux on their beautiful A330neo. That video was awesome and well worth checking out if you haven't. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link in the top right. Staying in the Asian market, we have more news surrounding Thai Airways. They've announced they are going to acquire some Airbus A321neos. Thai's Airbus A321neos will be taken up on lease from AerCap. Thai will lease 10 of these aircraft, which should help them in a lot of ways. First off, their existing fleet of A321s is only getting older. Also, there are strong competitors emerging in the area, such as Starlux. By ordering the Neo, Thai hopes to modernize their fleet. They've also been taking deliveries of Airbus A350 and Boeing 787 aircraft in recent times as well. Hopefully, this can help them stay competitive. By the way, I just have to quickly mention, now that we're about halfway through the video, if you're enjoying, make sure you subscribe to my channel, ring the notifications, and leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it, as I'm slowly building those numbers. Also, check out my Caleb's Aviation podcast. A new episode of that will be up very soon, and it's one you won't want to miss. Moving on, we have more news with United and continued frustration over the 737 MAX program. I've covered this in more detail on another video, and I'll leave the link in the upper right. But United is so frustrated, they've removed the MAX 10 from their summer schedule, not expecting it to come anytime soon. I also have to quickly mention, Hawaiian received their first Boeing 787 this week, but I will cover this in more detail in an upcoming video. Moving on, we have news surrounding this year's Singapore Airshow and the 777X, or rather, the exclusion of the 777X. That's right, a Boeing 777X did not attend this year's Singapore Airshow, which was a big shock, especially since Singapore Airlines is one of the launch customers of the 777X. Also, there was speculation out there that Singapore was gearing up to place a large 777X order, possibly for the 777-8, which never came to fruition. Instead, Airbus and Starlux had a major win at the airshow this year. they showed off one of their beautiful new A330neos, complete with the Starlux new interiors, and I have to admit, they look beautiful, but maybe this publicity would have been better off to the 777X, and this might hurt Boeing in the long term. Perhaps Boeing can see something we can't, and part of the reason for not sending the 777X has to do with some recent bad publicity at the company. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Aviation News. If you enjoyed, hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Also check out the podcast. I'd appreciate it. But that's going to do it for me. And as I always say, wishing you blue skies and tailwinds.